Hey, what's up, slackers? It's Halloween, or somewhere around that time, depending on when you're watching this. Regardless, it's the Queen's time to shine. The one and only Scary Godmother.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
The Scary Godmother films are bona fide classics at this point. I've been watching this movie ever since it first aired on Cartoon Network back in 2004.
Fuck, you're old.
I don't know, man. To me, Scary Godmother just puts me in that Halloween mood. So let's talk about why Scary Godmother is the perfect Halloween special.
Monsters? Boy, oh boy, are you in luck! Some of my best friends are monsters. Come on, I'll take you over to my realm in the front side and introduce you. Let's go!
Alright, so just in case you haven't seen this masterpiece or haven't watched it in a very long time, I'll give you a brief synopsis. Our story takes place in an unspecified town on Halloween night. We follow our main character, Hannah Marie, as she spends the night with her cousin Jimmy and his dickhead friends. Unknown to Hannah, Jimmy plans to ditch her so he and the big kids can trick-or-treat faster. Side note, apparently Jimmy and his friends are 12, which I always thought he was older based on his voice.
And Hannah, if you're about to say that you're a fairy princess and not a creature of the night either, I'm gonna take you home right now.
Honestly, if I heard this kid say trick-or-treat at my door, I'm telling him to get a f***ing job. Looking like the lead singer of The Offspring. Back to the plot though. Jimmy eventually ends up tricking Hannah to go into this scary abandoned house and locks her in there because he's a terrible person. Luckily, Hannah gets comforted by her scary godmother and is taken to the fright side to party with monsters, where she meets some cool characters like Harry the Deadbeat, Nightmare Fuel, and a very fabulous skeleton in the closet, because why the f not?
Oh my, Scary Godmother! Sorry to be so late, but I just had to get these old bones bleached for the party.
I knew there was something off about you. You're gay.
So it's pretty much just Hannah meeting new people and having fun while Jimmy and his friends waste their Halloween waiting for her to get scared. Yeah, that's it. You don't come to Scary Godmother for the plot though. It's all about the Halloween vibes. You may think that a premise like this can get boring quickly since there's no urgency, but after the initial intro, Hannah is always meeting someone new, so even though the movie is super chill, it never drags or feels slow. It gets in, gets out, and leaves you with a good feeling afterwards. This movie just hits all the right notes to make me feel good. As an adult, this is super nostalgic, not just because I watched it as a kid, but it makes me remember those Halloweens long ago in the festivities. The parties, trick-or-treating, or hanging out with the big kids just takes me back to simpler times. Even as a kid, I enjoyed how relatable the characters and situations are. Still believing in monsters, and even though the big kids are f***ing assholes, you probably knew some teenagers like them as a kid. It's really easy to relate to our main character Hannah too, since she's like the perfect audience surrogate for kids. Hannah is very easily scared since she has a prejudice against all monsters, racist bitch. She's one of the most pleasant protagonists to follow because even though she gets scared a lot, she always has an open mind. She really learns not to judge a book by its cover. To be fair though, she has every right to be afraid. I mean, just look at some of these guys. There's even kind of a Monsters Inc. thing going on where being scary is the monster's day job, but if you see them outside of work, they're some of the coolest people you'll meet. The monsters all have a very good dynamic and feel like they've been friends for a long time. Some of them are even Scary Godmother's broommates.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Whether it's Harry the loser werewolf being a dumb or Count Max is a very out-of-touch father, it's all entertaining stuff to see these famous monster archetypes get flipped on their head. Even the scenes where it cuts back to Jimmy and his friends are pretty funny.
You just left your baby cousin to the mercy of killer monsters on Halloween night? And you're concerned with the additions and upgrades in my cardboard SUV?
All of his friends aren't completely terrible since they actually feel bad about what they did, but I do like watching them slowly realize they ruined their Halloween, and seeing them get their comeuppance in the end is great. Another highlight is the Scary Godmother herself. She's so charismatic and is one of those characters you wish you could hang out with in real life. She's a great host. Whenever she introduces someone to Hannah, it feels like she's introducing us too. Scary Godmother is just a great character, whether she's using her magic or just saying a corny Halloween pun. Her design is awesome and really highlights how good the style is in this film. For a straight-to-DVD CGI animated film in 2003, I think this movie still looks pretty good by today's standards. The character models can look a bit strange, but the animation and movement is still really great and fluid. Also, shout out to Neo Scary Godmother for doing God's work and uploading both Scary Godmother movies in 4K quality. So if you want to watch Scary Godmother, just go to this guy's channel. Truly the best of us. Back to the movie though. They also don't mind changing the size of the models for a good facial expression. They can get pretty silly with it, which is a good thing. The backgrounds look the best and are so vibrant and colorful. They're so memorable. A nice touch is occasionally they'll have some hand-drawn art that's in the same style as the books. Oh yeah, Scary Godmother is actually based off a book, but that's a topic for another video someday. Yeah man, Scary Godmother is great. It's funny, nostalgic, and charming. I recommend watching this before October ends if you get the chance. Also, I know there's a sequel, but I prefer the first one more. Maybe I'll talk about the sequel another time. But that's gonna do it for today, slackers. Go ahead and like it.